What's up, y'all? It's Sports Good here with my Florida State Seminoles 2023 season predictions. I think they're gonna be kind of good. Um, Too long, didn't read, didn't listen, whatever. I think they're gonna be good. Anyway, some numbers here. The 2022 record for FSU is 10-3 with a bowl win, I believe. The season odds for this year, there's an over/under of 9.5 wins. So between 9 and 10 wins is what the sports books are thinking. There are going to be 8 returning offensive starters and 9 returning defensive starters. 3 players from FSU were drafted. Um, yeah, should be a I don't know, should be good. The recruiting class ranked 16th overall. The transfer portal rank was 4th in the whole country. They brought in 10 guys, and they were all very good. In terms of the freshman recruiting, they brought in 1 5-star. It was Hakeem. I might be wrong. Hakeem Williams. I think he's gonna be a backup this year. I think. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, he's gonna be really good. Lucas Simmons is an offensive lineman, and Conrad Husey. I don't know. They're both from Florida. All 3 of those guys are from Florida. Last 2 guys I said were 4 stars. Lucas Simmons is 6'8" and 300 pounds as a true freshman, which is absolutely insane. He's going to be a beast. Conrad is a top 150 player and a top 10 safety in the class. Those are just 2 of the 8 4-star commits that are going to be true freshmen. There are also 10 3-star commits that will be on the squad. In terms of transfers, Fentrell Cypress is coming in from University of Virginia. He is one of the top players in the whole transfer portal. Keon Coleman, another one of those guys, one of the top receivers in the transfer portal. He is going to go to Florida State from Michigan State. A little bit sad as an Aggie fan. A little bit sad Keon Coleman went there. We didn't have much of a chance in that battle, but I got my hopes up. Jaheim Bell is another player. He's the 3rd best transfer player, 2nd maybe. He is going to FSU from South Carolina. He's actually pretty good. Yeah. Those are 3 of the 8 4-star transfers. There are also 2 3-star transfers going into FSU. My ratings for Florida State. These are personal opinion, out of 10, how they're going to be. I think Florida State is going to have a 9 as an offense, so very good, probably 40 points a game, should be 40 points average per game. It'll be probably one of the top 15 offenses in the country. Defense should also be very good. They're experienced. I believe they brought in some transfers also on defense. Fentrell Cypress, cornerback. Obviously, but probably from other guys. 8.5 is what I'm thinking. Definitely above average. Going to be a very good defense. I'm excited. I'll probably end up watching a lot of Florida State this season. Here is the football schedule. The schedule difficulty is a B. I'm giving it a B. They have 2 or 3 really good obviously players, but they have 2 or 3 really good games. The rest aren't like great, but they have 2 or 3 really good ones. On the left-hand side, you have my sort of chart rating system on how I think Florida State is going to do against these opponents. We start in week 1 in Orlando, Florida against LSU. That's right. It's a neutral site game. It's very strange, but they're playing it in Orlando. These teams played last year in New Orleans, and Florida State won because of a missed extra point. This year, I think it's still sort of a toss-up between the 2 teams. LSU, I don't think is going to be as good as they were last year, but Florida State, I think, is going to improve. I think FSU should win, but this could be tricky. It will probably be a really good game, actually. I could see LSU winning, but I could also see Florida State winning. Next, we have Southern Miss, Sunbelt team right now. They're not great, honestly. And Florida State should just beat the brakes off them, probably by 40. Boston College, similar thing, but they're actually in the same conference as Florida State. Away in Massachusetts, I want to say something Borough. Hillsborough, Massachusetts. I might be totally wrong. Um, Foxborough, maybe. Anyway, Boston College. It's a road game for Florida State. I think they should absolutely beat the brakes off Boston College. Um, they're not very good. Sorry, BC fans. Clemson is the next team on this list. I'm gonna have Clemson as a close loss. Yep, it's on the road. It's in Death Valley. It's one of the craziest home environments in the whole country. They held the longest home winning streak, I think maybe ever, in Death Valley until last year, week 12, when South Carolina went in and beat Clemson on the road. But until that point, they had like a 45 game winning streak at home. I don't think Florida State is going to beat Clemson in that one. If they do, it'll be close. I think Clemson could probably win by like 10. Clemson are probably the favorites to win the conference, I think. Florida State definitely close. I won't say it. I won't say it. We will, as we go through the schedule, I think you'll get the vibe on how I think FSU is going to do and if they're going to be one of the better teams in the ACC. Here we go. Virginia Tech, close win. Virginia Tech is going to be better than they were last year. I think three or four wins was it last year. They weren't good. I'm hoping they're better. Virginia Tech might be my favorite ACC school. It's kind of a weird thing to say. Anyway, Florida State should win that one. It's at home. I don't see VT being too great. Syracuse is the next game. They are not as good as they were last year. Last year they went 6-0, and then they won one game for the rest of the season. This is their sixth game. That doesn't matter. I think they lost Sean Tucker. I think that was his name. The Syracuse running back. I don't think he's there anymore. So Florida State should totally beat Syracuse by a lot, probably, at home. And next is Duke, who I think is actually not a bad squad in the ACC. Not as good as they were last year, but not terrible. That could be a close-ish game. Close wins for me sort of means like within 17 points. That's like pretty loose for a close win, but 17-ish maybe. Big wins like 21 plus. I think FSU should beat Duke. Another home game for the Seminoles. Yeah. Not Florida. Wake Forest is the next team on the schedule. It is a road game going to the Demon Deacons. Wake loses their best quarterback they've had in probably ages, and I don't think they have anyone right now that's actually going to replace him and be very good. At least not that I've heard of. That's why Florida State's going to win that game. Next is Pitt. Pitt is low-key a ACC underdog team. Yeah, they could probably finish like third in the conference. They had 9 wins last year. They were sort of slept on. No one really talked about Pitt. They could probably be a top 3, maybe 4 team in the conference list this year. No one's talking about them. Florida State could win, but honestly, I would not be surprised if Pitt won. FSU at this point should be on like a winning streak after Virginia Tech. Syracuse, Duke, and Wake. This could be sort of a trap game. Pitt pulls off this upset here with a one-loss Florida State. Would not surprise me. Yeah. Next is arch bitter rival Miami. I think it won't be like a 17-point win. Probably like 10, maybe 7-point win for the Seminoles over the rivals down in southern Florida. I think the Hurricanes are a little bit overhyped this season. If you can even say they're hyped up, they're not going to be great, but they will absolutely go to a bowl game this year. If they don't, something terrible has happened. They should totally go to a bowl game. Most of these teams should, but so should Miami. I think Florida State at this point, um, they're rolling pretty much. They should win that game. North Alabama is the next team on the schedule. Should be a big win for FSU. Obviously, Northern Alabama is FCS, literally the division below. Easy win. Finally, we have the Florida Gators, another arch rival, bitter rivalry between UF and FSU. This is on the road in the swamp. I could see it being a little bit closer of a game. Not like 17 points, but like 7, maybe 10-point win for Florida State. Wouldn't surprise me. Really, anything can probably happen in rivalries. We've seen it all over the country. Every year, rivalries get kind of wild. Yeah, they have a really good shot at a lot this year. They should win against Southern Miss, Boston College, Syracuse, Northern Alabama quite easily, all by 20 plus points. 20 plus points. Then they should probably beat Virginia Tech, Duke, Wake, Miami, and Florida. That would be a big season for them if they beat Miami and Florida. Then I think they might lose one of these two toss-up games, either LSU or Pitt. I think they could probably lose to LSU more easily. Pitt, kind of an educated guess that Pitt is going to be pretty decent this year. They might not, but LSU probably the game of those two that they could lose. And then I think they do lose to Clemson for a final record of 10-2, maybe one loss in conference. If they don't lose to Pitt, maybe 2 losses in conference. Maybe they beat LSU. Schedule difficulty of B. Overall, they should have a very good season. If you disagree with me, or if you do agree with me, let me know in the comments. Tell me what I got wrong. Who are really going to be the best players and the difference makers on this team? Did I make reasonable statements for the games? I don't know. Just let me know. How do you feel about Florida State? Tell me in the comments. I read every single comment. I don't really reply much, but I do read all of them. That's really all for today. Thank you so much, and until the next one, peace.